Welcome to our channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm Victoria and this is my husband.
I'm Nate.
Today we're going to show you how to do check-ins, the process of it, and then some tips and tricks on how to perfect the check-in photos.
I'm her second pair of eyes. Actually be second and third because I have 4 eyes. I stayed on.
Nice.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm in my posing bikini. You'll see me readjusting throughout just because I wanted to emulate what my competition bikini is going to look like, and I'll go over that as we go through this video. So at the beginning of your bodybuilding prep, your coach is going to have you just standing there, just straight on, like so, kind of like you're building your character in a video game, right? So you're just standing there, take a photo. Next, raise your arms up, take a photo, so on and so forth, just standing there.
So basically, the reason we're doing this is that way you get more of a feedback between daily changes and weekly changes. But you want to try to have as many things as constant as possible. So same lighting, same angles, same time of day if you can. Usually it's going to be first thing in the morning, so you're not going to be as filled in with water or swollen up or filled with food and everything. That way you have more of an accurate changeover from day to day.
Yeah, so trying to hit the same time every time that you do your check-in photos will help. The reason why we start with just the regular, just standing there, you know, you haven't lost any body fat yet. They just want to see what they're working with. And then about halfway through prep is when things start ramping up. That's when you start pressing the gas pedal, start upping the cardio, lowering the calories. But at the beginning of prep, it's like you're not going to see all kinds of shapes. But now that you're starting to lean out, it's like, okay, I'm starting to see a little bit of lines. Maybe your tie-ins are already coming in, so on and so forth. But at the beginning of prep, most likely that's not going to be showing. So for the coach, it just helps them to keep it simple, and you just stand there like a video game character. And once you get to a certain point in your bodybuilding prep, that's probably when your coach is going to have you start doing your mandatory poses for your category. So for me, that'll be wellness. For him, classic physique.
Yeah.
So I will get my heels.
And you're going to need to practice your poses anyways, just because as you start leaning down and losing fat, your poses start to look a little bit different.
Yeah, and this will also be good for check-ins. As you start leaning out, your coach may point out like, hey, I think we're going to have to change your posing a little bit, which I'm finding is starting to happen anyways. Since I'm doing wellness, my front pose, instead of standing straight forward like this, now I'm going to get into my front pose like so. Most likely the camera would be a little lower because that's where judges are. And the coach wants to be able to see like how that's going to look from their perspective, right? So it'll be something like, you know, like so.
And then for classic, it'd be more like that.
Cool.
But since I have clothes on and I don't have a bikini on, it's not going to be as accurate, but it's almost the same thing. Just hers, but just slightly different.
And you're going to see me adjusting the bikini bottoms just because my coach and I found that my bikini bottoms are going to have to be shaped a little differently from the average person. So like right now it's high-waisted in the front. So it'll be normal to like front pose, my side pose here. So it's hitting that really quick. Back pose, all this fabric has got to be changed. So right now I have to just kind of bring it to the top of my glutes. Otherwise, up here it just makes my glutes look really awkward. So then we just hit.
That's my favorite pose.
Back pose. And then the side pose. I got body work I gotta get done next week, so.
She means like deep tissue massage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so hit the mandatory poses, whatever your category is.
We'll make a video on different mandatory poses for each category. So
yeah, we do have the wellness posing one, but we're going to try to have a classic physique posing video at some point soon. Let's talk about the importance for lighting in check-ins.
So basically you want to try to have the same lighting angles in the same location where you're standing, and possibly the same time of day every day. Just because if you have really horrible posing on your first couple check-ins, and then you end up moving over to where it's perfect lighting and you look leaner, you might make yourself believe that you just recomped a lot faster than you actually did.
That, and your coach might be like, oh, okay, we're progressing. Maybe the scale's not moving, but you look tighter. So like today it's rainy outside, so I have a ring light stand over here. And so I'll just bring it over. You could put your phone on it like this.
Notice how it's locked in? So it's always at the exact same height every time.
So we'll pretend that it's plugged in, but what I like to do is I'll go on here, turn it around, video if you want. Some people do video, but we'll do photo, timer, and then press that. Probably just do the pose here. And this is a good time too to practice your pose. Okay.
There you go.
And then you can review it. Not bad. So you got that with Nate in there.
I don't think I look terrible either.
But yeah, some people will do a video and then screenshot it. So like right now I'm doing a video on here.
Both could work.
Both could work. I prefer to do photo because it forces me to just hold the pose instead of looking at the video like, oh, I need to do this or whatever. So
And video might not exactly have as good quality as a photo. I mean, it could be good enough for some people, but
video is good for like right now. I'm kind of going through my poses.
yeah, because what she's doing is transitions. You don't get to just pop into each pose on stage. You do have to try to smooth it out a little bit.
Some people will try to take pictures where there's natural lighting, so near the window, which I actually prefer, but like today it's rainy, so you can't always consistently do that. So that's why I always have a ring light that can do a natural light, so it kind of is similar to the actual sunny natural lighting out there.
And if it's outdoors with the natural lighting, it's inherent that you take pictures the exact same time every day. And as far as lighting goes, I want to try to show you the difference lighting can make on your physique and your check-ins. So right there, she's posing, and if I turned off the upper lights, looks slightly different. And then notice, if we move her this way, the shading could be a little bit different. Not sure if I can see it from here though. And even a slight angle should actually make a difference in the shading as well. Especially if you have down lighting, that is a good thing. So it's similar to how slow you look in the gym. So if you're slightly behind it, you might look one way, but if you're pretty far behind it, you'll look completely different. Yeah, so watch the difference between that and that. Now slightly turn to the right.
Like twist? Or?
No, your whole body. You see how that looks different? And then if you slightly turn more to the right.
With check-in photos, you'll be fasted, maybe sips of water for your medications or whatever you take, but just try and keep all your variables the same. So if you wake up at, well, we're night owls. So I wake up about 10 a.m. I go straight down here, weigh myself, take the photo, and then go on about my day. Trying to keep everything consistent. If you work like super early in the morning, it can be difficult, but coaches prefer you to be fasted, not eating anything yet.
Yeah.
But as you get closer to show day, and depending on the coach and how your body's responding, you'll either start bi-weekly check-ins, which I've started this week, or you'll get to the point where you're doing multiple check-ins throughout the day, just texting your coach like, hey, I ate this is how I look right now. And that's usually like 2 to 3 weeks out from your show.
Because they're wanting to try to gauge what each food is going to do to you and how you're going to be shaped differently if you eat one source of food rather than a different kind.
So another thing to think about for check-in photos, what to wear. I recommend getting a posing bikini. This one's from Eye Candy Bikinis. For males, it's pretty simple.
Well, classic physique was simple just because it's just black, small trunks, but bodybuilding and physique, you get your choice of colors and different cuts and everything, just like a bikini almost. But in my case, I just need to make sure I get the right size.
Yeah, so like for females, we got so many different categories, but for check-in photos, we usually just have a posing bikini that you can adjust over time. So like this, I've actually adjusted as I've leaned out more and more. And you can even see back here, I've had to adjust it more and more. But it just helps to have a posing bikini instead of a regular bikini, just because these are made more for bodybuilders.
They basically show off more skin.
Yes.
But again, if you're going to be like using bikinis, you're going to want to try to use the same one every time, just as if you have different colors and different shapes and different cuts, it might give you the illusion that you're losing fat somewhere, or you're gaining it somewhere, or you're growing somewhere. And even sorry.
You got distracted.
Sorry about that. But no, it's just like some of it might hide fat in certain places. And if you wear a different bikini, it might not hide that fat in a different place.
Right. So for like females, like my category wellness, they typically like the bikini hiked up here, kind of like figure, but there's no tie in the back. Now, where I have high hips and this posing bikini's got to be edited, like changed a little, I actually need fabric that comes down here instead of way up here. But we now know that because the check-in photos, I was keeping my bikini like this the whole time. But as I had mentioned earlier, on the back side photos, I now bring these down when I do the back photo instead of keeping them up, because you can see there's all this space here and it makes the glutes look compressed almost.
Yeah, I noticed it.
So that's another reason why you should definitely have a posing bikini. If you can't get a posing bikini, try to get a bikini that is like string tie for females. Maybe black, something neutral, nothing like crazy patterns, although I have a crazy color, but...
I mean, the crazy patterns, if there's stripes up and down versus stripes horizontally, might affect how narrow and wide you look in different areas.
Yep, that's a little tip trick for fashion, depending on the
illusions.
Yeah, the illusions. So just try to keep it solid color if you can.
Your posture is going to be affecting the way your check-ins are going to look. So trying to make sure that you get the proper posture for each pose. That's actually really good. Oh, wait, what was I saying again?
That's my bad side.
But again, a lot of people naturally just slouch, like myself. That gives you the illusion that your gut, your waist is a lot thicker and wider than it actually is. Yeah, so this versus that makes you look more elongated and taller.
Hold on.
Woo, now I get to work on my flexibility.
That's another video we can do, talking about flexibility and how that helps with posing.
A lot of posing. It's hard to not shake. The better endurance and better shape you're in, the easier it's going to be for the judges to notice all your attributes.
Okay. Makes me look more shredded than I am.
But that tiny little change of angle already affects you. Up here. but just that little bit.
Look at
throws
that.
the
See,
entire
it
thing
makes
off.
my serratus come out more in certain lighting.
And another one is people's legs and quads. There's enough cuts in there and they're deep enough that slightly changing the angle already completely affects how lean you're going to look.
I'm just like looking at the shoulders too for me. So like, I know I'm going back to upper body. Sorry. Just like
You're
certain
welcome.
angles. I know. But it changes depending where I stand. One final tip, just a word of wise. When you take your check-in photos first thing in the morning, you're going to be flat because you don't have your water and carbs in. For me, I've eaten throughout the day. It is actually about 7:02 p.m. So I've eaten a lot already. I got some carbs in me, some sodium and such. So I'm a little more filled in.
Your muscles are a little bit more expanded.
Yes.
And depending on your electrolyte balance, having water throughout the day can actually make you look less lean or more lean.
Yep. So just word of wise when you do your check-in photos.
And that is pretty much everything that we can tell you guys about check-ins.
If you have any questions or anything you want to add to that, feel free to comment, Jesus, down below. I got prep brain right now. Like, subscribe. If there's something you want to see during this bodybuilding prep, let us know. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Sorry.